House and Senate leaders say they've reached, and I'd like to hear what you think about the FISA bill coming to the floor and some of the changes that have been made, the agreement between House Republicans and Democrats. Let's go right to the phones. East Hampton, Connecticut, you're first up.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I appreciate C-SPAN very much, and my previous calls I've always forgotten to say that, and I just want to say thank you again. I'm totally disgusted that the Democrats have capitulated once again. I had listened to Jonathan Turley, a constitutional lawyer, who said this immunity issue, which is the key issue, is like robbing a bank and then going back and asking for a law, changing it, saying that robbing a bank is legal. And I hope that all these Democrats who are voting for it, and Republicans too, are voted out of office in November, and that people realize that they are shredding our Constitution, they are violating, they are throwing the rule of law out the window, and I wish they would stop deciding the way to go based on politics, the vote, to get the vote. And I emailed Nancy Pelosi with my disgust in the Democratic leadership. I have voted for Democrats in the past, but I am thinking that we really, truly need a strong third-party movement in this country.
Thanks for the call. A Republican caller from Eugene, Oregon. Go ahead, you're on the air.
I actually agree with the Democrat. This disgusts me. Intervening in judicial matters, asking for immunity for these companies that have clearly broken the law is outrageous. It is against our Constitution. There's way too many of our constitutional rights being violated at present between the active Patriot Act and the continuing of these fear-mongering tactics by the current administration, and I hope and pray that the next administration, whatever it be, has the power to see all these problems that our country is facing and deal with them appropriately.
Getting your reaction to the FISA bill, the changes to the electronic surveillance law being voted on. Final passage vote now on the House floor. And Chicago, you're next. You're on the air.
Hi. First of all, thanks to C-SPAN, like the other callers were just saying. And I greatly appreciate the Republican caller who just spoke up. This is definitely not a partisan issue, and I thank that Republican caller for saying so. The fact of the matter is that these phone companies knew it was illegal when they were asked. We all know that these lawsuits will be tossed out. This is basically a formality. The House GOP whip, Roy Blunt, is already on record as calling this as formality, and these will, inevitably be tossed out. Senator Kit Bond has even come out and said, quote, I think the White House got a better deal than they had even hoped to get. I plan on voting for this guy, my Senator Barack Obama. But as a de facto leader at this point of the Democratic Party, I think his silence on this is deafening. With a simple phone call, he could have, to the House leadership, he could have killed this bill. I'm very disheartened at what's going on.
Thanks for the call. Fresno, California. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you to C-SPAN. I've always enjoyed your programming, and I really appreciate it. Has nothing to do, for me, with immunity to the phone companies. It has to do with the Constitution of the United States. These elected officials are sworn to protect our Constitution. This act is in further violation of our Fourth Amendment rights. We seem to have this mentality now that the Constitution doesn't matter anymore. When it's been brought to the Congress to vote up or down on a declaration of war in Iraq, they laughed. Congressman Ron Paul. We have a Constitution. We have people that are sworn to uphold it, and they ignore it. And it makes me sick and makes me sad for our country and what legacy we're leaving our children, our grandchildren. Tremendous debt. 130 countries with a standing army, American standing army. We're in a horrible shape right now, and it's not the Republicans, it's not the Democrats, it's Congress, and especially right now this executive. Thank you.
New York City on the line for Democrats. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Please take note, everybody, of the no votes from the Democratic Party. This is an outrage. And how could anybody in their right mind do retroactive with the phone companies? And also, Miss Harmon on the floor said she was getting calls like crazy from her constituents, yet she voted against what their constituents wanted. And I hold Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer personal for breaking the law. I mean, the reason she's in power now is because they wanted her to impeach the president. She takes it off the table. I think it's an outrage. And that's pretty much it. And thank you very much. This is a sad day for America when President Bush wins once again. Thank you.
Thanks for the call. Getting your thoughts on the legislation, FISA Electronic Surveillance Changes Bill that's being voted on now. Final passage vote after a little over an hour of debate on the floor of the House. This should be the last vote of the day and the week in the House of Representatives. And more of your calls. Back to the line for Independence, Los Angeles. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
First off, I will state that my ancestor was a patriot. His name was Patrick Henry. I am very saddened and also very upset and angry when they use the military and say it's to protect them and to do. No, it's not. And as far as Jane Harmon, I called her office. I'm one of those people that wanted to voice my objection, and I was hung up on. I don't mean to sound so angry right now, but what are we doing to our Constitution? These early patriots knew more what these meant for us, the people, than any of our congressmen up there and senators. I'm appalled. I'm appalled that they would tromp on the Constitution. Hoyer made a mistake. I don't know if you heard it. When he was talking about the Fourth Amendment, he said, accidentally made a speech mistake. He said forced amendment, and indeed this is a forced law, and it's disgusting. Yes.
Thanks for the call. A Republican caller from Sarasota, Florida.
Yes.
Go ahead, Sarasota.
Yeah, this is a resident of Sarasota, registered Republican, extremely upset at the possible approval of the FISA bill, and particularly by Democrats, who I supported in their campaign despite being a Republican. And this is really an outrage. It's destroying our freedom of expression under the Fourth Amendment. It's a threat to us. And the Democrats have completely betrayed us that supported them, and the Republicans have got to get out of there. Our country is really in trouble with this, between the FISA bill and invading our privacy and without any warrants and without any reasons to be given to the citizenry of the U.S. So we are very, very upset here in our household with this Congress.
Thanks for calling. President Bush had comments about the FISA bill